Well, less than 4 months since leaving the Oval Office, Donald Trump is already plotting a return to the public spotlight in a familiar fashion. The New York Post reports the former president will be restarting his signature campaign-style rallies next month as he teases the possibility of another run for the White House in 2024. Joining me now, Kurt Bardella, LA Times and USA Today contributor and former spokesman for the House Oversight Committee, and Angela Rye, politics and culture commentator and host of the podcast On One with Angela Rye. Good to see you both. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Kurt, can I just ask you, rallies for what exactly?
I guess for attention. I mean, this is someone who I know for a fact has been spending his time at Mar-a-Lago, texting anyone he could possibly think of to see if they will come out there to play golf with them. I mean, this guy is so bored and so starved for attention that he's going to do his little dog and pony roadshow because he's a narcissist and doesn't know what to do without the spotlight, without seeing himself on cable news on a loop. It's really embarrassing. I mean, this is a former president of the United States, and he is just so missing being the center of focus of everything that he's not going to go out there and try to, hit the rewind button and make it like it's 2016 again. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us not to really fall for it. This guy doesn't deserve oxygen. He doesn't deserve attention. He's got nothing to contribute to the public conversation of any kind that's useful, interesting, informative. And I, for one, am going to change the channel if I see him pop up anywhere.
Yeah, and I know others who would do the same for sure. Angela, to Kurt's point there, Trump has spent the last 4 months banned from social media. Yeah, he started that new blog. It hasn't really gotten much traction, certainly nothing compared to his Facebook or Twitter. Do you get the sense that he's feeling the effects of not having his voice heard and amplified every day? And so this is his reaction to it, to Kurt's point.
Well, I think the bigger issue to me is not whether or not Donald Trump's feelings are hurt because he's not getting enough attention. It really is on how the party, and I'm talking about the GOP, which I'm now going to call the POWN, which is the Party of White Nationalism, whether or not they continue to give Donald Trump's rhetoric oxygen, whether or not they continue to double down on the very toxic retail the incendiary remarks both on his Twitter feed, at his campaign rally, rallies that he holds all over has held all over the country, and the ones that it appears that he's getting ready to start again. The bigger issue is holding Donald Trump accountable for the radicalization of the POWN and whether or not they are going to take responsibility for that, right? We know that January 6th was just a few moments ago. It hasn't been that long, and they're not trying to hold him accountable for that, for all of the things that he said before he was ever elected, for all of the things he said on the campaign trail, and before that. It is time for the Republican Party, the POWN, to take full responsibility for what they have allowed to occur. I will never forget when Senator Harry Reid said that Donald Trump was the Republican Party's Frankenstein. It is time to disable the monster.
Interesting, absolutely. I want to take a look at what the last campaign-style rally had, Kurt. I mean, it was January 6th, which, of course, hours after he spoke, to Angela's point, we have his supporters who stormed the Capitol, some of them, subsequently leading to 5 deaths. So when you think about Donald Trump rallies, what do you envision as being potentially possible?
I see it as nothing more than a gathering of domestic terrorists intent on imposing their will through means of violence and intimidation and fear on those that don't align with their agenda. That's what we saw on January 6th. We cannot allow Republicans to do what they tried to do the other day at that congressional hearing and completely whitewash the events of January 6th. You had a congressman who, by the way, there's a photo of him in the Capitol barricading it, and he's out there now saying, oh, it was just like a tour, a Capitol tour. It's like, give me a freaking break here, folks. If we allow the events of January 6th to be so casually rewritten, it will only invite even more violent types of rallies and events and gatherings. It will escalate. It just sends the message to these people that it's okay to do it. The Republican Party, the way that they're acting, the way that they dispensed to Liz Cheney for telling the truth about January 6th and Donald Trump, what they are telling their supporters is do it again, do it bigger, make it more violent, because they'll run cover for them. The Republican Party is the getaway driver for these domestic terrorists.
You know, this week we had multiple Republicans. They were trying to rewrite history on what happened on January 6th. Let's remind viewers. Take a look, everyone.
The truth is being censored and covered up. As a result, the DOJ is harassing peaceful patriots across the country.
You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Many Democrats have put forth a narrative that has been circulating around since January 6th and has never been corrected. For example, the narrative that President Trump incited riots on January 6th.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
We played that, which Kurt was referencing there, from Andrew Clyde, the congressman who says, yeah, he would actually think it was a normal tourist visit. I mean, do you think, Angela, that these folks honestly believe what they're saying, or is this all just a political move to keep Trump supporters happy in their districts?
You know, that's an excellent question, Alex. And I think that what it requires of the Republican Party is to remember what happened before January 6th. I was on with Joy yesterday and I said the same thing. I actually agree with Kevin McCarthy when he says we need to look beyond and before January 6th, the incident on January 6th. You would think right now, given the conversation around Liz Cheney, that she should be up for a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, her voting record is 93% in support of policies touted by Donald J. Trump. So again, until the pawn of Donald J. Trump reverses course, we're going to continue down the same treacherous path that this country has been on since 1619, and that is the rewriting of history that is dangerous and treacherous and awful and violent for so many of this country's citizens. And it didn't start with Donald Trump. We are errant in that belief. If we really want to take that position, it got worse with Donald Trump. It did not begin with Donald Trump.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that. Kirk Bardell and Angela Rye, thank you so much. Good to see you both. I'll see you both again.